Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, DBougie86 here again, or as I can say, back finally again. Yeah, I know, I'm bad. It's just been hectic, guys, so I know you hear this a lot, but my bad. It's just been hectic with trying to record videos as frequently as I want to. I have been part of a few podcasts now, as you know. Actually added another one to that resume recently, and I just like talking about movies with people. It's something that keeps me entwined and have discussions with another person or persons per se is something very interesting in the aspect of just involving others with movies and getting to discover movies that they probably didn't know. And I enjoy either negative or positive reactions to certain movies. But yeah, as you know, this is an update video, and it's a big one. So this is gonna be a long ass video, probably the longest I had in a while. It's gonna be crazy. Forget when I last did my last update, but it's pretty bad. So I say, for the sake of me and the sake of the dogs, because I tried to do this video 3 times already, and the dogs are little predators. They like to bark when you're doing something. So, with that being said, why not we just get involved and show fucking everything off? This is everything I got for, I think, at least the last 5 months. It's been a while. I know it sounds bad, but it's whatever. Start with the DVDs, which is probably the smallest thing in this update, which is crazy to think. First up is a film that I actually haven't opened yet, and that is The Girl in the Crawl Space. Don't know much about this, just looked interesting, kind of like an indie film, I guess. I'll check it out eventually. Next up is a film that I picked this DVD up definitely in like November, and that is The Headhunter, Jordan Downey film. I actually did a review in this. No, not actually October. Wow, Jesus Christ! Did this during my 31 Days of Horror. That's how long ago I picked this up. Great film. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. Next up, I picked up, finally, Santa's Sleigh with Bill Goldberg. Yep. Did the show with this on Cinema Attack. We did like a Christmas horror show. Something we do every year, usually something Christmas related. Fun movie. It's been a while. The opening's funny as all hell. Pretty rad movie. I actually really dig this movie for what it is. Yeah. Santa's Sleigh. If you want to see Goldberg as Santa Claus killing people, check it out. Next up, I picked up, I believe this is a Norwegian film called Thal. Kind of like some fantasy horror shit. Haven't checked it out. Looks interesting enough. I'm gonna check it out eventually. Next up is Nicolas Cage and Primal. Yep. Pretty fun movie for what it is. It's typical like direct-to-video Nick Cage stuff where he plays like a poacher, and they have to escort like this bad guy through his boat because it's like a undisclosed, like disqualified case or whatever, and the guy gets loose and he releases all the animals in the boat, so it's like animals plus a killer on a boat. And there's this really bad CGI, like fucking jaguar, fucking something that's in this movie. And it's so cheesy because it looks fucking terrible. But you know, it has some fun, and Nick Cage has some fucking funny lines in it. It's a fun movie for what it is. I recommend Primal if you like your cheesy Nick Cage shit. Next up is WNOF Halloween special. Picked this up for our Halloween show. This is how long ago this update's going, as you can tell. Yeah, we had fun with this. We reviewed it on our podcast and Murtag, so check out that show if you want to hear our thoughts on this. Next up is Halloween Night. Did a commentary on this. This is a silent produced film. Funny as all hell. It's pretty much like a rip-off of Halloween. Actually not bad for Asylum, though. It actually has some practical effects in it. A lot of girl-on-girl action, too, if I remember correctly. It's been a while since I watched it, as you can tell, since it's now March. But I had fun with it. Next up, I picked up this 5-pack of Canadian horror films, and I don't even know how to pronounce like 3 of these, but I pretty much just picked this up for Long Pegs and Werewolf Fever, but kind of a cheap set, so they're all on one disc, which is kind of sketchy, but you know, whatever, it was cheap, so I'm not complaining too much, because these 2 DVDs go for a crazy price on their own. Next up, I picked up Absentia. Finally picked up Absentia with the terrible cover art. This is Mike Flanagan's first film, of course. Of course, he did, like, Dr. Sleep from this year, which, you know, it's a fun film. That's somewhere in the update, I think. I did pick that up recently. Yeah, I really dig this film share. It's kind of like a cosmic Lovecraftian horror film in a sense. But yeah, awesome shit. Next up, I picked up a 4-pack of Savage Nature films by Mill Creek. Comes with Fluebirds, Monster Wolf, Wolfsbane, and the Headless Horseman. Hell yeah. Next up, we got The Innkeepers, Ty Wesson. Believe this was a Christmas present from my co-host Carly, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I love The Innkeepers. It's one of my... it's actually, I think, one of my favorite Ty West films. I know a lot of people kind of go for House of the Devil, but I always dug The Innkeepers for some weird reason a little bit more. Maybe because of the atmosphere and just the location of the film in general. But yeah, I dig The Innkeepers. If you haven't seen it, be warned, it is a very slow burn film. But I do dig it. I like it a lot. Next up is A Bronx Tale. I did this on Celluloid Dissections. Great revisit. This is actually an Australian DVD of it, because this film kind of has a weird release history here. Yeah, I really dig it. Robert De Niro, Charles Palminteri. Really fun episode that we did on Celluloid Dissections. Next up is I think this is like a Russian zombie film. Haven't checked it out yet, and it's called Dead Earth. Who the hell knows? We'll find out, you know. Could be good. Next up, I actually watched a bunch of these, actually. The Houses of Hell 4 movies pack by Mill Creek. It comes with America Horror House, Dunwich Horror, House of Bones, and Mask Maker. Watched Mask Maker. Kind of a fun, like, slasher, kind of supernatural TCM slasher type deal. And then House of Bones was kind of cool, like, haunted ghost movie. Really cool shit. Yeah, I still have to check out the Dunwich Horror with Jeffrey Combs and American Horror House. What a fucking original title that one is. But yeah, awesome shit there. Next up is The Body Beneath. This is an Andy Milligan film from Something Weird Video. Weird fucking movie. Weird movie. Yeah. And Andy Milligan, what can you say? You're gonna get what you're gonna get with him, you know. But really cool shit. I dig it for what it is. And last up for the DVDs, guys, we have Irrational Fear from Slasher Studios. It's kind of like their take on a supernatural slasher. I started this a few times, but for whatever reason, I always got preoccupied when I started it, so I wasn't giving the film its full attention. Because, you know, it's one of those ones where shit's happening and you get a phone call and you keep it going and you miss a lot of shit, or you end up having to answer the barks after they bark for a while. You know, that type of deal. Yeah, I want to sit down and actually really sit down and watch this one soon enough as you hear the road raid go by, you know. But overall, definitely, I like the other two films I've seen by Slasher Studios. They're okay for what they are, for what I've seen. But yeah, definitely want to check this one out. DVDs are out of the way. I guess we get into some Blu-rays. I don't know where to start. Well, let's talk about my favorite film ever. The Fear footage. Okay. What can I say about this film without trying to sound like an asshole? I didn't really care for it that much on first watch. I think this film was very overhyped for me because of the aspects of it being called like the scariest movie you ever seen, aspects of it being a fucking fantastic film. I put it in and I'm like, what the fuck is this? And you know, I don't hate indie films. You heard me praise a lot of indie films on this channel before. This one, I don't know. I think because they were going with the found footage angle with this one, it kind of deteriorated for me because it was pretty much your basic ass found footage film with certain aspects of it, you know. But whatever, I'm gonna give it another chance. I know they did actually put out part 2. I am curious to check it out to see what it's all about. And you know, there was things I still kind of liked about it. You know, I didn't really fully hate it. It just, I'm like, really? It was more like that type of viewing. So I will give this another chance one day. You know, wasn't the worst thing, but wasn't the best thing in my opinion either. For me personally, you might dig it a lot more. I never denature people from film. I'm not that type of reviewer. I always say you might like it more than I did. Whatever. But whatever. Yeah, Fear footage. Start with this fucking stack. First up, we have Return to Oz from Disney Movie Club. Yes, I am part of the Disney Movie Club. I know. Yeah, Return to Oz. What a weird fucking movie. If you haven't seen it, it's very more in line with like L. Frank Baum's novels about Oz, more than, you know, like the 1930s Wizard of Oz film was. And when this came out, everyone was like, is this a sequel to The Wizard of Oz? It does borrow some things from The Wizard of Oz, that film. But it's its own monster. And this film got banned because of it. It got panned by critics alike. Because they were all expecting a sequel to the 1930s Wizard of Oz. But what they got was a very more faithful adaptation to the source materials at hand. And I dig it. I dig it for what it is. I like The Wizard of Oz as well. So I don't choose a side. I like them for different reasons. Yeah, but I dig it. If you are wanting this, it's part of the Disney Movie Club. It's an exclusive. Which, you know, I'm not really a fan of exclusive shits either. But it's whatever. I don't really buy a lot from them anyways. I just have it for purposes of shows or aspects, or I also pre-order films that I did like in theaters through them, because I get a few deals and get a few other movies for a little bit cheaper that way. But overall, Return to Oz, def glad to own it. Awesome shit. Another one I picked up from the Disney Movie Club is The Black Hole. I love this film growing up. Really great cast in this. We got Maximilian Schell, Anthony Perkins, Robert Forster, Joseph Buttons, Ernest Borgnine. What can you say? Great sci-fi film. Very, very dark ending. Really awesome shit. So, yeah, I recommend The Black Hole as well. Awesome shit. If you've never seen those films, either one of those, they have some super dark material to them. And I recommend both of them. Hell yeah. Next up is Funny Games. Yeah, from Criterion Collection. What can I say about Funny Games? I haven't seen it. I know. I always wanted to check this out. I know they have like the remake from the same director. I never saw any version of it, but I want to start with the original German version and then compare the two of them. Michael Haneke, of course, directed this. Heard messed up things. It's a very polarizing film in the community, but I'll give it a chance. Next up, this is from MVD Marquee Collection. That is 24 Hour People. This is about Tony Wilson, of course, who became the head of the Factory, which was his record company that had a lot of awesome fucking shit on it, like New Order and Joy Division, and pretty much it's like the start of the Factory and his relationship with the bands and shit. So, yeah, I really dig this. Steve Coogan does a great job as Tony Wilson in this. Really great movie. Next up, oh boy, The Lighthouse, yes. One of my favorite films of the last year. What can I say? That fucking dude right there, Willem Dafoe, fucking shoulda got nominated for a fucking Oscar. He was fucking amazing in this movie. And Robert Pattinson was no slouch himself. I definitely understand when people say that they didn't understand this film or didn't care for it per se, but I absolutely loved this film with a passion. It brought so many awesome things that I love about cinema to screen, and really great. I can't wait for Robert Eggers' next movie. It sounds fucking awesome. So, The Lighthouse, awesome shit. Next up is the Child's Play remake. Yep. I actually really enjoy this remake for what it was. It's something that I would never thought I would be saying. Yeah, Mark Hamill's great as Chucky. Really love the approach that they did with it. Very different from, like, the original film, of course. And, you just gotta take your brain off and shut it off for whatever. But I dig it. I dig it. Hell yeah. Next up is True Believer, right? I saw this film years ago. Robert Downey Jr., James Woods. Yeah, I actually really dug the story of this one, so that's why I picked it up. Definitely going to revisit it on some Mill Creek Blu-ray. Izzle. Hell yeah. It has that Asian dude that was in Karate Kid Part 2, too. See, that's him behind the bars right there. The bad guy. Next up is from Hex Studios. Yep. For We Are the Mini. I guess this is like an anthology. I didn't really look into it. I know they're making a sequel to this right now. But, I can't show you any of that shit back there. But it looks fucking cool from the artwork. Gonna check it out eventually. Might do a review on it. Who knows? Next up is Joker. Really dug Joker. Joaquin Phoenix was fucking amazing. Just really, really great job. And, you know, very different polarizing look at the character of Joker. It's, take it as its own movie. You know, don't take it as, is it faithful to the source material or shit like that. Just take it for what it is. Really great shit. Love Joker. Next up is a film from Artsploitation that I actually still got a review, and that is We. I actually flipped the cover around because the other cover kind of had nudity on it, so I didn't want to get out of that control with that. But yeah, We. Definitely going to check that out eventually. Next up is Terminator Dark Fate. Really dug it for what it was. I know a lot of people might have had issues with this movie. But I enjoyed it. I don't know. I watched it with my dad one day and really dug the hell out of it. For what it was, you know, Arnie might be his last time as the Terminator. So it's kind of like the end of an era, in a way. So, yeah, Terminator Dark Fate. Next up is The Girl on the Third Floor. Saw this, I actually dug it. I didn't know what I was going to think about it because it started CM Punk. Actually, a really cool film. I actually dug the fuck out of it for what it was. Sorry, guys. Next up is Arctic. Still haven't checked this out. Kind of like a serial killer type movie, I believe. From, you know, Dread Central, their line. Looks interesting. I like the neon orange poster. That's always a good sign. Next up is Terry Gilliam's The Zero Theorem with Christoph Waltz. Definitely wanted to check this out. This is kind of like Gilliam's return to like a dystopian future type movie, like he did with like Brazil and 12 Monkeys. You could actually, people kind of lump that in their own trilogy of films with Brazil, 12 Monkeys, and this film as like a dystopian future trilogy. You know how fans like to do that type of shit. I think Brazil is actually part of another fan trilogy also, with like Time Bandits and the Adventures of Baron Munchausen. But, you know, to each their own, you know. Haven't checked this out yet. Definitely been sitting on it because just been prepping for a lot of shows recently and 85 list prep. But definitely going to check this out. I love me some Gilliam, even though he is a very controversial figure at the moment, or, you know, some of the aspects of stuff that he says. But I just separate the art from the person at that point, because then I would have to stop watching movies altogether. You know what I mean? But whatever. Next up is Nightmare Cinema. I dug it for what it was. This is an anthology film with, you know, produced by Mick Garris. With two things, he directed like the wraparound and the end short. And, you know, Joe Dante, David Slade, Alejandro Burgess, and Ryu Kitamura also took part of it. It was okay, you know. Some of the stories worked better than others, in my opinion. And, you know, the wraparound was probably my major issue with the movie. But overall, I kind of dug some of it for what it was. So, yeah, Nightmare Cinema. I say check it out. I know it's on Shudder, so if you want to check it out before blind buying or anything, check it out there. Shudder has a lot of good shit. Next up is Plaguers from Wild Eye Release, and this is a re-release. I dug the fuck out of this movie. Starring the legendary Steve Railsback. The way I would describe this movie is Demons in Space. Yeah, of course, just directed by Brad Sykes. Yeah, what can I say? I recommend the fuck out of it. Definitely surprised the fuck out of me with some of the effects and the gore and all that good shit. Kind of a cool movie. You know, it's a low budget film, so you're gonna get that acting that you're gonna get in some of those movies, but overall, it didn't take me out of it. I enjoyed Plaguers. Next up is a double feature. I know Carly actually got me this for Christmas, and that is Maniac and Die Die Die, My Darling. You know the Misfits song? Fucking awesome shit right there. Yeah, some fucking early Hammer shit. Love me some Hammer. This one, I think my buddy Andy sent me. It is Buy Best. No idea. Kind of like an action movie. Check it out. I'll check it out eventually. I haven't checked it out yet though. Next up is Candy Corn. Another. I kind of missed this because it's like a Halloween movie, so I'll save it next year. Maybe I'll do a review on it. Has the little tiny guy from like the Rob Zombie 31 and 3 from Hell movies in it, and Tony Todd and PJ Souls and Courtney fucking Gaines. So I'll check it out. I heard interesting things about it. Next up is Sicario. Love this fucking movie. Finally picked up a copy of it. Love Sicario with all my passion. I still gotta pick up the sequel. I have seen it. I actually like it because it's a little bit different than the first movie, which all sequels should be, to be honest. Really great stuff. I love the score by Johann Johannes, and this, you know, the Beast theme is fucking awesome. Fucking love it. Love Sicario, one of my favorite movies of all time. Next up, another gift that Carly gave me, and is that Don't Kill It. With the man, the myth, the legend, the Dolph Lundgren. What can I say? Dolph was born to play this role as a demon hunter. Really cool concept to this one. If you haven't seen it, I don't want to really spoil it for you, but the concept of it is really cool, of what the demon is and what it does. Really fucking awesome shit. I highly recommend Don't Kill It for what it is. Awesome shit right there. Mike Mendez film, of course. Next up is Freaks. Really dug this. I actually kind of was surprised by it. Great performances in it by Mel Hirsch and Bruce Dern and Amanda Crew. Anybody else I know in this? Can't think off the top of my head, but you know, really dug this. Really great movie. If you haven't seen Freaks, check it out. Next up is When a Stranger Calls. Upgraded it, Mill Creek edition. I still actually haven't opened this yet. I like this movie. This is very controversial because you know, I was on that 22 Shots episode, and me and JP versus Moods. But you know, it's whatever. I dig it. I like these beats. You know, I wish they were more like. Where is it? Let me look for it. Kind of like my Mandy set, where like it's like an actual VHS. But whatever. I dig it. I dig it. Next up is the new Necrostorm film, which I actually just watched today. And that is Little Neko Red. Worth the wait, in my opinion, because I fucking loved the fuck out of it. It was pretty fucking awesome. Really loved the gore in this. And the story was, you know, kind of jarring at first. Because I'm like, what the fuck is this movie going? But then when the reveal happens, I'm like, okay, thank you, movie. That's what I needed. And, you know, fucking awesome fucking movie. Gilio DeSante, wow. I was going to butcher the Tazana Machala. I believe that's how you pronounce that. Sorry if I butchered it. But, fucking, really rad. It comes with 2 posters and postcards and all that good shit. Because I got the collector's edition, Blu-ray edition. So, yeah, Little Neko Red. Awesome movie. Okay, next up from Unearthed Films is The Deep Web. One of their too extreme for mainstream line. This is number 2. I have to watch it still. Definitely, I have to really be in the mood to watch something like this. Especially like the extreme shit. I'm gonna check it out eventually though. Maybe later this week. Fucking Deep Web XXX. Mark of the Beast. Next up is Them. Classic. Love it. Upgraded because of the new... did a show on this on Cinema Attack. Awesome shit. Black Scorpion. Did that Bad Larry 2 on Cinema Attack. Same episode. Carly and Heather's favorite movie, Legend. If you heard that episode of Celluloid Dissections, I get a very racy on that episode. Not like racist, but very racy. Where you just gotta listen to it to hear it, guys. But yeah, Legend. Awesome shit. The Infamous Trick. Now, I actually kind of dug this movie. For what it was, I didn't say it was perfect by any means. I just was entertained by it for some weird reason when I originally reviewed it. But I could see why people would not dig this at all either. Yeah, you know, I talked about my piece with it on various platforms. I dug Trick. Go into it with an open mind because it might not be for everybody. That's all I'll say about that. Next up is Tone Deaf. This is who directed this? Richard Bates Jr. He directed like Excision and Suburban Gothic. I dug it. You know, it's maybe his less popular film for me, anyways. It's maybe of the ones he's done, but I still dug it for what it was. Robert Patrick kills it in the movie, and Amanda Crew, really fun. I dig it for what it is. It's some goofy comedy shit mixed with some dark humor, you know, like Richard Bates Jr. does. Tone Deaf, I recommend it for what it was. And last for the standard Blu-ray shit is Oculus, another Mike Flanagan film. Just actually recorded a show on this on Cinema Attack last Saturday. We had special guests with the Friday Nightmares podcast on that episode. Really great show. So if you have any like podcatchers at all to listen to, look it up. It should be out sometime this week. I think it's one of our best shows as a unit per se, because we had so much fun on that episode. So look out for that show in the future. Awesome shit. I'm just throwing shit now. I don't give a fuck. I'm just kidding. I do care, but whatever. Next up, some... Yeah, start with the Blue Undergrounds because there's only 2. And by the way, I am not getting those 4K re-releases. I already own those movies on multiple editions. The only way I would do it is if I already had a 4K player and a TV, which I don't at the moment, because I'm not spending $45 on fucking Zombie right now. But I did pick up House by the Cemetery on Blu-ray Izzle. Oh yeah, fucking love this movie. Fulci for fucking life, motherfuckers. And then Two Evil Eyes. Oh, that's actually cool in person. I'm doing that for you guys. You know, Romero, fucking Dario Argento directed 2 Edgar Allan Poe adaptations and put them together in one little movie. It's been years since I've seen this. I own the actually old Blue Underground Blu-rays for this. So I'm curious. Very curious. I'm just doing that because I'm bored. Sorry. Might as well get into some Vinegar Syndromes. Hell yeah. Pledge Night. Reviewed this on my 31 Days of Horror. I dug the hell out of it. The Vineyard. Awesome movie directed by James fucking Hong. Really glad that this got a Blu-ray. Love it. It was a crazy movie. Unmask Part 25. Actually, I haven't watched this one yet. I know it's like a spoof. It's kind of like a spoof film, kind of like Friday the 13th style spoof. Definitely want to check it out because it looks gnarly from the back of the movie. Beyond the Door 3, aka Amok Train. Actually, really love this movie. Transfer is amazing on this release. Really awesome shit. Glad I just got a Blu-ray. Love it. And finally, for VS, Flesh Eating Mothers. Haven't seen this movie. I heard very interesting things about it, though. Can't wait to check it out. You know, with that VS touch. Next up, we have a few from the good peeps at Mondo Macabro. That's right. We have The Inheritors. Haven't watched it yet. Looks nuts. It's like an Austria film, I believe. Austria, yeah. The Killer of Dolls. I actually just got most of these. Besides The Inheritors, I got a lot of these in over, what's it called? The last few weeks. Haven't had a chance to watch them. Spanish flick looks nuts. Can't really show you the back because I don't know if that's a man or a woman, but there's some kind of nudity on it. But, yeah, looks awesome. I heard awesome things. We got Paul Nashi's The Beast and the Magic Sword. Hell yeah. Looks pretty fucking awesome. Awesome that this guy... I heard awesome things about this. One of Paul Nashi's last werewolf movies that he did. And finally, this is kind of a weird release from Mondo. It's their new sub-label, which I don't even think they actually put anything else out on this label. You know, American Akarna, and it's a co-production of something weird. The Bushwhacker and the Ravager double feature. Now, I haven't seen the Bushwhacker yet, but I did start the Ravager. What a fucking weird movie that is. Yes. If I even describe that movie to you in person, you'd be like, what the hell? Sorry for the background noise. They like to bark, those little guys. I know. Next up, maybe we'll get into some my UK import shit. I imported a lot of stuff from UK. I mixed the 88 films and second sight in this, just because I didn't have like an abundance of them. If that makes sense. It's whatever. So, picked up Midsummer. This is the UK edition. It comes with the director's cut and the original cut on separate disc, actually. And the reason I picked this up, I wanted a physical copy of the director's cut instead of paying for a digital copy. Makes sense. Yeah, I actually really enjoyed this film. I know it's very, like I said, very polarizing film. There's a lot of different opinions on a lot of these movies that came out. And I dug it for what it was. It's definitely a polarizing movie. Great performance by Florence Pugh. She's fucking awesome in it. Yeah, Ari Aster, what can I say? Very curious what he does next, because, you know, he did like kind of like a satanic pagan cult. Then he did like a regular pagan cult. I want to see him do something else, like in horror. You know, take like something else from another subgenre of horror and flip it with his like way he does relationship horror. You know, very curious, but I dug it. I can understand why others wouldn't, though. I'm not like You know, even some people that might be watching this video later, I only joke around. You know. So, yeah, Midsommar, I dig it. Next up, I picked up The Blood on Satan's Claw. This is a screenbound edition. I know Severin Films put this out, but I missed out on that edition. And I needed this for the collection. I know Severin might put this out down the line again. But I wanted my fucking... I need my folk horror. You know, I need my folk horror in me. And this actually has a lot of features on it. And I kind of love how the slipcase is and how it opens up to the skull. Yeah, love this movie. Patrick Wymark, one of my favorite character actors too. Next up, speaking of fucking atmospheric shit, A Field in England by Ben Wheatley. I love this movie. Really great gothic setting. Atmosphere is amazing in it. Very psychological horror at its finest, in my opinion. Love me some Ben Wheatley shit. Awesome stuff. Here's another polarizing movie which doesn't go well with certain people, but that's In Fabric. Got the UK edition. This is a Peter Strickland film. He did Barbarian Sound Studio and the Duke of Burgundy as well. I dig this movie a lot. I understand why people might have complaints about it. I could see it. But I get Peter Strickland as a filmmaker, sort of, because he is very strange and he does a lot of 70s aesthetics, and it's very different, his humor, because this is kind of like a comedy in a way. It has some dark humor to it. It's weird. I love it. It's a killer dress movie. What can you say? I dig it. Next up, box set time from 88 Films, and that's the Anaconda quadrilogy box set. I don't even really... Things like a brick. Anaconda don't got none unless you got buns, huh? I don't know why I'm singing that song. I love me some Anaconda. What can I say? Next up, oh, you guys got to get this. The Killer Crocodile set from 88 Films. Oh, yeah. These are so good. Comes with Killer Crocodile, the gangsta movie, and the Even Gangster Killer Crocodile 2. Fun movies. I love these. I double featured these back to back the other day, and they were a fucking blast. Love the fuck out of them. And last up for this section of the movies, I got 1, 2, 3, 4. We're almost done, guys. Under the Shadow from Second Sight. Fantastic edition of this film that I love. I love this film. We actually talked about this on Cinema Attack as well. And spoiler, like I said, I love it. It was a good conversation piece, you know, even though some of the other co-hosts weren't as high on it as I was. It was a good subject matter to talk about and a good discussion, nonetheless. So, can't wait till you hear that discussion on this movie. Really great shit. I love it. Under the Shadow, great addition. And if you are fans of this, region free. So you could pick this edition up. Even I think the standard edition will be region free as well. Really dig the fuck out of that. They gave that release justice. Great interviews with the director, commentary, the main star, of course. And yeah, I don't know where to start now. I'm going to see some Scream Factories or some TV. I'll do the TV shows because there's only like 4. I know, I'm telling you guys, this is probably the biggest update ever. Got Swamp Thing, the complete series. I wanted to check this out so bad, but I was actually going to sign up for the DC thing to check this out, and they canceled it before the first episode came out. So I'm like, fuck you. Excuse my language, guys, but it's just crazy, the aspect. Like, they didn't even give this show a chance to get any popularity, and they canceled it before it aired. Like, what the hell? Crazy. But it looks awesome. That that cover looks fucking awesome. Love me some Swamp Thing. Picked up Batman Beyond, the complete series. Stoked to have this. I still gotta pick up the original Batman animated series. I know Zach's probably gonna watch this like, you haven't picked that up yet? Nope. Because there's 9,000 other things I want to pick up, Zach. At the same time. And I can't be everywhere at the same time. But Batman Beyond, I dig this show too. Comes with the Return of the Joker movie too, if you guys were wondering. And last for the TV series, we got Ultra Q and Ultraman. I still gotta pick up the other series out of this, these new Mill Creek releases. To complete my banner, as you can see. I like these a lot better than the Steelbooks because, these are actually... I heard the Steelbooks, the disc comes stacked on. What you get is this fat case, and they all come on their separate, things like this, really nice presentation. Comes with a nice booklet too. So yeah, alright. Guess Scream Factory. Alright. Rabid remake by the Soska sisters. I was going in with very low expectations on this, and I actually liked it. I'm not going to say it's perfect. It's far from perfect. My major gripe with the movie is the ending. But overall, I still dug it for what it was. It was actually kind of a cool remake from the Cronenberg movie. Yeah. Some cool effects by Steve Kaczynski from Astron 6 too. Did the effects on that movie. Next up from Scream Factory is a double feature of The Outed and The Godsend. Hell yeah. What can I say? Killer Genie movie and Killer freaking Kid movie. Awesome stuff. I'll save that for last, actually. My Bloody Valentine. My favorite slasher of all time. Gets the treatment it deserves, finally. So stoked to own this. Harry Warden has my heart. Has my soul. I like The Prowler too, if you guys are wondering. It's one of my other favorite slashers. But I love it's my number one slasher of all time. And I love it. Volume 4 of the Universal Monsters Horror Collection. And now I just gotta pick up 3, 2, and 1. I know. Don't ask me why. Awesome shit here. Still gotta pick up the other ones. But I dig the style of those sets. Halloween 10 disc set. Now you're gonna ask, you never picked up the original box set? No, I didn't. I didn't have a job then. That's why. Good reason. But Andy actually got me this. He actually got a double of this. And I dig it. It's whatever. I got the Halloween movies. I don't need all that special other shit because I am a Halloween. I like some of the Halloween movies. I wouldn't call myself a hardcore fan, and that's not being a diss either. I like Michael Myers. I like the original Halloween. that's the sequels vary. Let's just put it that way. And last up is Wreck Collection. Oh my god, this set surprised the fuck out of me. This is like a great box set. Look at that. It's an actual box that you could kill somebody with. Look at it. Comes with, of course, Wreck 1, Wreck 2, Wreck 3, Genesis, and Wreck 4, Apocalypse. What can I say? Butterfingers. Really awesome shit. Wreck. Love them. Love the Wreck movies. Getting some Severin / Intervision. I put 2 DVDs in this because they're Intervision releases, and you know Intervision and Severin are the same company. I got the Bruno Mattei Cannibal movies because they were going out of print, so I picked those up at no cost. These are great. If you haven't had, you can still probably get these on like Amazon. I think I saw Mondo Cannibal or this one on there. I still got them before they go out of print because they will. Really awesome shit. Next of Kin, Aussie classic. Really awesome stuff. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend this movie. Another movie I recommend is Invasion of the Blood Farmers. Cheesy fucking movie. Really awesome release. Can't believe this movie got a Blu-ray. Oh god. Okay, let me move those because I gotta get to those after. Almost done, guys. The Other Hell, Bruno Mattei. Another one I picked up. I picked up this because it was going out of print too. Cheesy nunsploitation by Bruno Mattei. Awesomeness right here. What can I say? Love me that Bruno Mattei. And last for the Severins, I got the Hemispheres of Horrors box set. Comes with, let me get these out. Blood Drinkers, Curse of the Vampires, Black Cat and the Torture Chamber of Dr. Sadism, and it comes with Al Addison's Brain of Blood. Of course, these are Filipino films. I believe this is a Filipino company, I know that. The same guys that did like the Blood Island movies. Hell yeah. Now, Arrow videos and then the big giant thing at the end. I thought I had Dr. Sleep. That'll probably be in next month's update. I think that's downstairs, that's why. But whatever, it happens. That'll be in next month's. I know I did pick it up. Apprentice to Murder. So to check this out, Donald Sutherland, Chad Lowe, and Mia Sara. Could be cool. Actually really dug the Dead Center. If you haven't seen this, I recommend the hell out of this. Especially if you like some kind of like Lovecraft shit. This movie is very kind of like adult horror-ish with like kind of like a Lovecraftian vibe to it, which I did dig. Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, new 4K edition, Terry Gilliam movie, comes in this crazy box set. The sleeve already died, unfortunately. The thing that they stick on the back with the features. But this thing is crazy. It comes with a poster, booklet, and reversible artwork on the actual Blu-ray, which is pretty rad. Love me some Fear and Loathing. Film definitely not for everyone. The Man of a Thousand Faces, James Cagney portraying Lon Chaney Sr. Biopic, of course. Really awesome movie. What can I say? If you like Lon Chaney Sr., check this out. Great performance by James Cagney. Killer Nun, some more nunsploitation awesomeness. Yeah, this movie's awesome. What can I say about some Killer Nun? Hitchhike to Hell. This is kind of based off. What is this based off of? Oh, Ed Kemper. This is what kind of based off his killings in a way. Cool for movie. Exploitation stuff. And finally, for the Arrows, the All-American Horror Project Volume 2 comes with Dream, No Evil, Dark August, and The Child. Been after this set for a while, and I'm so glad I have it in my hands right now. I'm so glad I picked this up finally. Fucking, yeah, this is going right next to Volume 1. Had to get this, and I'm glad I did finally. So, awesome stuff. Now, you think that would be it for the update, guys. But I have one last thing to show you. Yeah, I did it. As I always do. I picked up the Criterion Godzilla the Showa era box set by... Ooh, Jesus Christ. Save that from having a disaster. The Showa era Godzilla films. This is the Criterion set, which has been having a lot of mixed opinions on it in the community as a whole, because of the style of the set, of it being like this giant book, having the discs like so, and you know, the artwork choices, you know, with the artwork choices, that's very nitpicky stuff. But you know, I'm just happy that something like this actually happened finally. Am I happy with everything about it? No. Am I happy to own all the films in one set? Yes. Could they have done better? Yes. Am I glad I own this though? Yes. You know, it's a hit or a miss with me. And you know, at first when I saw this, I'm like, where the fuck am I gonna put this shit? And you know, the only thing that can compete with this now is Arrow's Gamera set that's coming in, I think, July. It's either July or August when that comes out. I already have it pre-ordered. And, you know, I'm just glad to own this. That's all that matters. I'm a Godzilla fan. I love Godzilla. I was going to get it eventually anyways. Whatever. Mic drop. That's it for the update. Like I said, I think Dr. Sleep's downstairs, guys. I was going to watch it maybe, and I just forgot to bring it back up. But, you know what? It's whatever, because then I'll have something to show you in the next update. Which might be hopefully sooner than later. Sorry again for like the overcomes of making an update. Sorry for any background noise or whatever. It's been crazy. That's another reason why I haven't really been recording, is it's been crazy as all hell here lately, with construction outside to whatever happens outside of that door. Let's just put it that way, guys. But you know, I try to keep that part out from you guys in all my stuff. But you know, like I said, I'm thinking about coming back. I want to get more creative, so I'll do this. If you guys want me to do any top 10s, write down some topics you want me to do, and I'll get working and prepping on doing them. I'm kind of in a place where I want to start doing videos again, because it's getting nicer out. You can get more room in here, and you know, I can finally put these away and actually do more prep. So, I know this video is like an hour long. That's like an epic update for me, guys. But, yeah. Check you later in the next video. So, leave some comments. What you think about everything I said. What I liked. What I didn't like. The Godzilla set aside. Let me know what you thought about this fucking epic craziness that I had, aka previously on Hoarders. So I'll see you next time, peeps. Peace out.